Greetings, fellow musicologists. Alex Tamulis here. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell button if you can. Today, the day has come for us to discuss Fixxxer, one of the strongest songs on Reload, and it is considered a twin of the Outlaw Torn in terms of the structure. They're both closing tracks, and their albums generated a lot of buzz with fans around the world. But what makes this song hard to be played live? Well, in my opinion, the vocal range. That's the first concern. The song spans various notes and reaches, high ones. Similar to the Outlaw Torn, but at the same time, Fixxxer is a bit harder to sing, and they're absolutely beautiful. So it's another one of those moments that were very inspired instances where James got some inspiration from Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, Cherry Cantrell. It would be hard for Rob Trujillo to sing that live with that type of emotion, that type of technique. So they add to the vibe that's being presented. It was a spot-on arrangement, and right off the bat, you already have a great sonic picture of the song. You hear these guitar noises. They sound like sirens. And it adds to the theme of the lyrics. It's very like Tony Iommi, Sabbath-oriented, very groovy, very tense. Those sirens in the back, they keep blaring. So it's like this wow moment. It reminded me of these harmonies that, Queens of the Stone Age. But it's mostly a Black Sabbath type of song. Verse 1, let's see, it kicks in with the arrangements, very bluesy, but I gotta say that what really sells this song is this cohesion and coherence of the lyrical piece, the work done by James. The word is epic because it's superior to lyrical. It's heroic, it's tragic, it's got everything you need in terms of using music as the foundation to give birth to this whole theater of sounds, emotions, etc. It's totally subjective, and it doesn't represent what James thinks or what others think about that. It's just my reading. Well, let's start with the title, Fixxxer, right? The first thing that we notice, the three axes, the triple axe. And usually that triple axe is used to describe pornography. So the upper layer will give you that reading of sex and abuse. And you might take that road, but the deeper meaning would be to see God as the main abuser here. Obviously, there's no way to know by just looking at the title, but I see those three X's as three placeholders for a word with three letters. So it could be sex, it could be God, mankind being abused by God. God as being seminal, load, being like impregnating, jabbing. And what's really amazing is how powerful this song is with these placeholders. We can see that we can both picture James and Jesus. And James and his issues with his family, with his father and mother, and Jesus with, accepting the challenge, being given the crown of thorns by his father, by God, to save mankind. So we begin with God using us as dolls. He's got the power of, omniscience. He's omnipotent. This part just shows mankind being manipulated by God. We're hurt and we're pierced since we are sinners. Here, we can imagine people in church. They're all lined up, hoping that their sins will be washed away, and they're down on their knees, showing humility. So it's the humble part. So this shows that God is the only one who's the real arbiter, the real judge, the one who can kill, the one who can save, depending if you're good or bad. So notice how Manichaean, right, this is, how black and white. It's either life, death, good or bad. And now we get to the chorus, beautifully written, featuring these questions. So it's like the main character here is aware of how the system works, how the system wants to provide answers. And he's like, okay, but with all your devices, can you truly heal what my parents have done to me? You, being God or a representative of a deity, can you really fix this whole impregnation of belief and practice? Can you be like a surgeon and strip this away? Can you glue the broken vase? Another beautiful image is the rope metaphor, showing mankind as God's slaves, you know, dolls. Right now, all I can feel are these pins. They're labeling me. They're showing me that I'm a sinner. So that I'm not worthy, you know, it's the deep stuff. Since I'm this sinner, one more pin is required, and the jab is here to punish me. You jab another pin in me. So it's an important part, and now I have that mirror metaphor, you know, it's time for you to self-reflect. You see, you have the term thy wall. That means it's your religious barrier, you know. You should self-reflect and apply critical thinking to your consolidated and concrete religious beliefs. Break this spell. So it's kind of like voodoo magic, bewitching, or being charmed. So just break free from this ideology. Otherwise, you become manipulated. You're just this manipulated doll who's going to get pinned and dinged every time. Sharpening the pins is getting the ideology even more persuasive, making you feel that the sins are really something you need to steer clear from. You know, the sharper the pin, the deeper it will pierce you. Well, this is manipulation, not like master puppets where drugs control you, but here ideas and beliefs will do the jab, or should I say, the job. The pins will stay there. The sins will be there and accompany you, and they will poison you since they're just rotting. They're oxidizing. So how can you be healed after going through this whole thing? Then we have Kirk's solo, which, by the way, is a great moment in the song. And we have a bridge, and I believe it's the most encrypted part. You know, we can wonder and ponder, but it'll be hard to know since it's broad. Referring to the crucifixion of Jesus, where you have blood on his face, you have sweat falling in the dirt, and then his tomb is marked with 3 X's so you will know where to look. But what's more important about this part is that James gives you a way out. To break this curse, a ritual's due. I believe I'm not alone. Firearms are linked can also be linked to violence. You can become violent due to traumatic experiences that you've gone through, and you can use alcohol to numb the pain. Anyway, things are going to be used as shields, right, for protection. And it's not different from any other type of thing that you resort to in order to find salvation. In a way, I conclude with, the ending of the song, and I believe it's just a beautiful end, beautiful way to end the song. The curse is the natural, miserable feeling that everybody gets. Everyone has their own ritual. You and I, we have this ritual that will make ourselves happy. So some people will turn to a pint of gin, others will turn to faith, but everyone will try to numb pain. Everyone, it can be either a bottle or praying to God or finding any outlet. We all want to be happy again. We all want to fall in love with life again. So James is falling in love with life again, so he screams, no more pins in me. He wants to say, these are not my sins. Now I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to seize the day with things that are valuable to me. And there are music, friends, Metallica, lyrics, poetry, guns in his case, hunting, drinking, binging, rehab, basically living the life that you think you should live ethically. And that, my friends, is Fixxxer, a true masterpiece from Reload, the best way to close the album. And now we can all resurrect, be born again, and with fresh ideas and new roots. As I always say, music is what music does. Please subscribe if you think that the content is relevant and meaningful to you. I'm signing out. Bye now.